There is amazing stuff happening in the world right now. And I'm just clearing the energy a little bit here, even clearing my upper chakras here, because, and yours as well. What we do for ourselves, we do for others. So, oh my goodness. So in the May energy update that I did, channeling the angels' messages, I can see why they suggested that we keep the last week of May soft and open, because we're really going deep into change right now. So some of you might be feeling like, how many times have I had this prayer? I've been praying for this since I was a child. How many times have I lit that candle in my holy sacred place and placed that prayer on the altar? And for some of you, it's like, why am I stuck in this loop? When is this deep liberation going to happen? And this week, today is the 18th of May 2023. There is incredible, powerful, profound shifts happening within us internally and externally. So this week, and my feeling is more so even next week, depending on where you are in your life and what's happening for you individually. These are general messages, okay? So obviously, if you book a session with me one-to-one, I'm going to be channeling your specific angels and guides and ancestors' messages. But when I do these videos, they're general. But they always hit somebody's heart, you know, because I wouldn't be called to do them otherwise. And I wouldn't get the great responses from people all over the world that I get to connect with, and the responses that I receive. So there's something in your energy now that is ready to open. There's something in you now that's ready to move to the next stage, the next level. And there's going to be a part of you that wants to hit the ground running. But these energies right now are saying, just hold your horses, do the energy work first, and then you can hit the ground running later on. More so as we wrap up May and go into June. But there's something now, it's like the energy is moving inside you. There's movement. The internal knots in your gut are unknotting, they're unraveling. You're actually getting to soften and open up into a realization. So for many people, there'll be a lot of realizations this week. There'll be moments of clarity. It may not be comfortable clarity. I should probably call this video uncomfortable clarity, because more than not, these squaring energies or these challenging frequencies can push us out of a comfort zone place that we've just stayed in too long. So there may be lightning strikes of fresh thought with a fresh eyes, fresh perspective on things. And for some people, there'll be relief with that. because it's like, okay, I just got to give this up. I got to surrender this. I'm getting off this roundabout. So that loop, that roundabout where you've just been saying the same request, you've been writing the same manifestation list, it's time to put the pen and paper down and to trust that the universe has your back and that things are unfolding. But there's something in you that needs to pick up that final piece of the puzzle and slot it into place so you can see the full picture. You may be one of the lucky people this week or next week that the clarity comes like a lightning bolt. The clarity of letting the cogs turn, allowing yourself space and rest and recuperation, to step back enough for a moment and take a breath, because there can be a very frazzled energy right now. There can be, people are having truths surface, okay, and the truth isn't always an easy medicine to take, but your medicine you must take, right? We have to swallow the medicine in order to get the benefits. So I'm in my working with people in recovery from addiction, in my private clients, all kinds of emotional distress and issues, and life coaching and cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm just in all the different avenues of my work, I'm seeing the same themes play out across all walks of life, from people from all parts of the world. It's like the clarity of truth, which has been shown to us in bouts here and there, in nuggets of wisdom here and there, is now, it's on the page. It's the page is on the wall, right? It's under our feet. We can't deny it. We can't try and squeeze it into a shape that suits us. We can't manipulate it. We can't even judge it anymore. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And there's something about making peace with the truth that's surfacing, the emotion, the feeling, that's very liberating right now. And if you can tap into that truth, and if you can own and feel the feeling, and like I said, it's most likely an uncomfortable feeling, an uncomfortable clarity that you'd rather not know, you'd rather not deal with, but it's there, and it's been popping up and down for a period now. If you can embrace and have compassion for what's surfacing in your energy, in your heart right now. And I also feel, I'm just getting self-forgiveness. I think a lot of us are having to face that there's parts of our lives and there's feelings that we have had where we feel a guilt or even a shame about having those experiences or making a certain decision. There can be a lack of forgiveness because you chose to walk away from someone, or you chose a different reality and you had to leave others behind. Maybe you had to choose between 3D and 5D, and your soul just said, listen, honey, we are going into the fifth dimension. And you can't bring any baggage with you here. And you can't hold that person's hand crossing over this bridge because they're not a match to this frequency. There's situations you've outgrown. There's parts of your reality now that are calling to be forgiven and to be released and to be dissolved. And if you're open, if you're willing, if you're able to say, The beginning is right now. Today is always the beginning. And if you're able to be present in this today, in this moment, there's liberation being offered to you. Understand, liberation, freedom, peace, it doesn't always look the way our ego mind thinks it's going to look. It doesn't always present the way we assume it will present. Sometimes peace and calm looks like moving in with your sister and sleeping on her bedroom floor, because it's the path of least resistance right now, and it's better than what you were enduring. Peace and liberation doesn't always come galloping in like a white horse with bells and whistles. It's often something very simple, but it's the right step to take. Sometimes peace looks like having a lot of free time on your hands because you quit a job that was draining you and hurting you and using up every bit of life force and self-love you had in your body. So we got to work with what we're being given. This is, on my way home from work, this just popped into my head, and the angels were like, sometimes you got to really embrace and work with what you're being offered and what is showing up for you. Are you making the most of what you have? Are you milking what is working in your life? Because it's so easy to have 90% of your life going great, but human beings will focus on the 10% that they don't like and that doesn't match what their ego had in mind. So seeing through the eyes of your heart, seeing through the eyes of your middle eye, your spirit, and not with your physical eyes, because the physical eyes and the physical senses, they're very seductive, they're very illusionary. They can tempt us down the road of temptation. And also the energies right now, and I said this in the May forecast, there can be a tendency to want to escape, to go into the fantasy role or the fantasy world, and to numb things out with pleasure seeking. So be careful if you're using food, sex, pornography, you know the drill, social media, to drown out whatever this is coming. This truth that's surfacing is a powerful truth, and it's a change agent. That's what your angels are saying. It's a change agent. It's time to look right in the eyes of that truth and just see it, neutralize it with love, and understand that the truth will never hurt you. That cliche is true. The truth will set you free, but it won't hurt. It might cause pain for your ego. It might cause pain for the physical mind and the ego mind that looks upon things with a covetous, I need to hold this, I need to attach to this mentality. But the truth and the higher mind knows that what is true for you, and the person you've grown to be now, not the person you were last week or yesterday, the person you are today now, needs to fully integrate and digest this reality, and to get to business, to get to work, to get to living, to get to be alive in this reality is a gift. But you got to use that gift, and you got to use that energy, and you've got to use your internal power. and then decide how you will express that in your life. So I hope this was helpful for somebody. I had work was so intense from the minute I stepped in the door. It was, there's just so much change and shifts and deep, deep, deep healing happening right now. There's powerful, profound healing happening. And it can be very exhausting. Like, the last thing I want to do is come on camera here. But something, again, when I get that spiritual push and call, when my soul calls me to channel a message on your behalf, I must show up and do my work, because that's what I came here to do. So what I'm getting is that whatever you've been wanting to change, like maybe you've been trying to move house, maybe you've been trying to get over an ex, maybe you've been trying to change jobs, I'm getting it strong that this week and next week are big change agents. It's a game changer energy. If you work with it, and if you allow it, and if you are honest enough to admit, not just out loud with words, okay? Words don't heal. It's good to say things out with words. It's definitely a step in the right direction. But combine that with the feeling of the change. Let this change happen on a biological, physiological level. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see some very interesting results. And you're going to see that reflected back in your external life experience. Things are moving now. There is movement. There is dynamic dancing in your cells, in your energy, in your frequency. Things are going forward. If you're dragging your heels, it's going to be painful. So check your heels for any bits of sand or dirt hanging on there. Shake it off. Kick off your shoes if you have to and go barefoot. But go forward now. Move forward fearlessly. That old comfort blanket, you gotta let that go. That old coat you've been wearing. It's summertime here in Ireland. We gotta take off the heavy layers, and we gotta pack light, okay? So pack light as you move forward. You've outgrown the comfort blanket. Off you go now. And my blessings are with you all the way. If you enjoy this video, you know what to do. Show your love and appreciation and send a beam of light to me by liking this video and subscribing. Angel blessings.